Welcome to Show versus Business episode 201. We're doing it again. New year is here and people are already quitting their resolutions. We're going to tell you a little bit about that. The new Squid game came out. Theo saw it. I saw it. We get to react a little bit to what we thought about it. Theo, you were talking about Google and AI, right?
Oh man, they just ripping me off, man. I'm not even going to get into this, but you know what? I am, because this is a shame, man. They're pushing AI on us, a small business, man, charging us money. And we'll go into why AI is being pushed on everyone at this point for no reason. So that sucks.
Yeah, and the big story is TikTok is going away. So we're definitely going to check in on that and some other technologies that are going away. What does this mean for us? Why is this happening? Who cares? Do you use TikTok? Let us know in the comments. But we're also going to do something new. If something's going to go away, we're going to do something new. So at the end of this show, we're going to have two reactions. We're going to react first to Daredevil Born Again, the new trailer that just came out, and what we call Captain Black American Falcon, Brave New World trailer reaction just got released. So we're going to react to both those trailers at the end. You can check all of the times in the show notes below. And Theo, is that all we want to prep them for?
Nah, man, I think this is a hot one. So look, we always say this, but please like, comment, just follow us, guys, because this is some hot stuff, man. We're not only giving you the stuff from our opinion, but over what Trina's almost 50 years of knowledge and experience from business and from understanding the show aspect of everything. So I think this is some insights that you guys won't get anywhere else, but also come hang out with us because we have a good time. So please check it out. Comment below if you like what we're talking about. If you want to hear us talk about or give comments on, and especially this new trailer reaction feature. I'm really super excited to see your comments on that one.
Flame us in the comments.
Love it.
Let's go.
This is Show versus Business, where pop culture meets pop money, with your host, the real Theo Harvey and Mr. Benja. Mr. Benja, what's on tap today?
You know what's on my mind, bro? Hey, it's Mufasa. Hey, that's Mufasa. I don't know why you showed me that before the show started, man. Yes, that's Mufasa. Look up Mufasa dance challenge if you dare. And yeah, I don't know why, but now it's stuck in my head and I can't stop it. But it's a good thing. It makes me laugh, makes me smile, and we need more of that. And the air is a little cleaner now that now that some of the fires have died down, been contained. Thankfully it didn't get worse. Unprecedented times, but things are much better now. So get back on to the new year 2025, being the new year, new me. And man, I'm feeling good, man. Just in general. So you feeling all right?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. I'm still pushing toward new habits in 2025. I switched up my little workout schedule where that's the first thing I do. I used to wait till I did some work first and then work out, and it never worked out for me. So now I'll work out first, and it's been going good, man. So, but those old habits are creeping up, man. Like, I'll just cheat a little bit with this little food here or this little cheat this. And oh no, I'm starting to fall back, man, and don't like that. So if you don't know, Quitter's Day was January 10th. That's nationally when everyone quits their New Year's resolution. So I'm still holding strong to mine. But yeah, man, just trying to make the new habits, let the new habits take over for the old habits. And not let those old habits, still dominate. So still pushing through.
Hey, man, you know how I think about the new year. It's like, sit down, get resolute with yourself. Look it up if you don't know what resolute actually means. Get some resolve and say, it's about to be this, and this is going to be a remarkable resolution. You don't have to tell anybody. And you know what was messing me up for years with resolutions? And I really was thinking about this. I'm like, why is it going bad? And I know people don't want to hear about resolutions anymore, but whatever, I'm talking about it. What was going wrong with me for so long was that I thought that I knew how I was going to get to my resolution, and I thought I actually knew what my resolution was. So if I had this idea of I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week and da 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 da. That's a random task. That's a to-do list. But that wasn't actually a resolution. That wasn't actually like something I was trying to, and I'm avoiding the word goal here. That's why I'm hesitating. I wasn't resolved in my spirit and my mind to do something a certain way and to get a certain result. And I don't mean an end goal. I mean a certain change in myself, where all my processes would change, my perspective would change, my attention would shift. And interestingly enough, I was just listening to Benjamin Hardy a little while ago before this. He just randomly came up on my podcast playlist. I have a podcast player that can just randomly pick episodes, so it picked Benjamin Hardy one. Anyway, I realized that I was looking at it fundamentally in the wrong way. Like, if I didn't go to the gym, somehow I failed. Or if I tried to do too many things and my gym experience wasn't that great, then I somehow was messing up. But I wasn't incorporating enough messing up into the process, you know, and that was starting to mess with my resolve. So, once I started figuring this out, I'm like, oh, okay, as long as I'm becoming more resolute about what I'm trying to do, I can give myself a lot more flexibility. So that's when I started coming up with the idea of being remarkable. What is somebody going to remark on? What is somebody going to say? How am I going to communicate my change to the world without actually saying it? If I'm going to the gym, somebody's got to say something. Somebody's got to say, wow, he goes to the gym every day. Wow, he looks more fit. Wow, he's got a lot more, well-fitting, tailored clothes. He ran up the steps and he always takes the elevator. What happened there? What's going on with that? Or now he's eating like a rabbit, eating all this, carrots, and what's he doing? Remarkable. So yeah, I had a whole new way of looking at it. And this year, it's funny. I'm just now realizing this year how well I think last year went, because it was a whole year of actually practicing it. So stay on it. You fall off the horse, don't worry about it. You might not even need a horse. You might have to throw you up on a camel. Process might change a little bit. Love yourself. It'll be all good.
Well, and just give my little philosophy on it too. It's like I try to keep it simple, and that calendar thing, right? I know you heard about that 30-day process where you do something every day, and you can only miss one time, so you can't miss two things in a row. So I just keep it simple. So if I'm gonna work out, I give myself grace. Oh, I didn't do my push-ups today, but guess what? I won't miss tomorrow. So I give myself grace, so I can only miss 2 in the in that 30-day period. And then the other thing is, being able to, you heard that phrase, be, do, have, right? So I have to become a person that gets up to work out at, 5 o'clock in the morning, the first thing.
Yeah.
That's who I become. So once you become that person, then you can, do the things that type of person does, right?
Yeah.
Just like us. We're doing that. We're podcasters because we do podcasting. It's not because we thought about doing it. We've been doing it consistently for 2 years. And so, I think people realize is that, you first have to set in your mind is this is who I want to become. And like you said, the remarkable piece. And then you just do the actions of what that person does. And then that's how you become. And so I'm a big proponent as I get older. It's like, it's really just more of a identity change of who you are.
Exactly.
That looks like.
And the identity change is the part that got me, because what I was experiencing is that as my identity changed, I didn't recognize it. Like I think I know what it takes to be, world-class athlete or whatever, or stand-up comedian, or, whatever you're trying to do. You might think you know what that is. You see the processes that other people do, but when you start doing it, you're like, oh, okay, this is what it takes. Or, oh, this is what that means. Oh, I have to behave this way in order to get that done. And you start retroactively figuring out what it means to actually be in that identity. So that's all I was saying with give yourself a little leeway, because if you have a process that you thought made sense, back in 2023, but then in 2024, all of a sudden, now it's starting to make sense. You may have to adjust your metrics and parameters and processes a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I love it, man. We're on the same. We're simpatico, brother.
Yeah,
Just make
man.
it happen in 25.
That's right. And you know what else is happening in 2025? I'm watching
What's that?
Squid Game season 2.
What?
Yes. I fired up Netflix because Squid Game was so awesomely phenomenal to me. And I watched the first whole part of Squid Game season 2. There's another part coming later. That's why I said the first whole part.
Yeah.
And are we opening spoilers? Do we want to do that? Yeah, let's open.
Yeah, spoilers. This is spoiler warning. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, jump down below if you want to skip ahead a few minutes. But yeah, I wasn't feeling it, man.
Ooh.
Just was not feeling it. I thought they did some. The first thing I thought of was like, they're trying to push message on me.
Message.
I need more game, not so much Squid. You know.
Yeah, I think that was the gist I got. I was impressed though. The first episode, I was like, okay, the whole get the gang back together kind of crap. But I thought that was very thrilling. Did you thought the recruiter and trying to find him, and then that whole game with the Russian roulette game? I mean, did you find that compelling? That interesting?
I found it compelling, and I thought they wasted that character. As compelling,
I did too. Good boy, because that character needs to stay alive. That guy came in hot, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's like, he was just maniacal, man. He said this.
Yeah. As compelling as he was, man, I thought they kind of, blew their wad with that one a little bit. It's like you got to keep certain things. You just want to keep with a certain amount of mystique, and it's like there's this other character. There's these other islands apparently that are having the games going on. There's all this other stuff going on. And if you just start answering it or making it regular, then it pulls a little of the mystique out of the air, So I don't know. I actually was hoping that he would get away and we wouldn't see him again until season 3, like,
yeah. I mean, he was the entry point for the first season, and then the second season he wasn't. But I gotta tell you, I mean, I thought the games were kind of flat because they seem almost repetitive. I thought there were going to be whole new games. And there were a few new games, like the merry-go-round game. That was kind of interesting and chaotic. But then the first 2 games were almost beat for beat like the other games, almost, right? So it was kind of like, what are we doing here? But what'd you think of the whole voting thing, and then that back and forth and trying to figure out who wants to leave and trying to, make it seem like people had a choice? I guess that was interesting.
I didn't think the characters were compelling enough to care. Like, I mean, you have this interesting fortune teller lady, but like I actually thought the trans lady was interesting, but because of the way they presented her, I'm like, you could have just left it at. I mean, like when they started to get the military backstory on that character,
yeah,
I was like, oh, okay, now this character is a little more interesting, got a little more light to him. But when they plant certain characters in the background, oh, I thought it was a guy. It's like, you know what I mean? It just seemed kind of contrived.
Yeah. Well, the Gi-hung, I think that's how you pronounce it. The main character, he definitely was a different character. I mean, if you watch the first season and compare to this one, he's definitely just more jaded, just more focused. And maybe that's purposely, right? Purposely, they're trying to show how the money has changed him. That blood money he won last season. Yeah. That he's not smiling. They even show a comparison between the first photo he took and the photo he took. It was just like, he's like, yeah, goofy laughing the first episode, the first season. This one is more like goofing off. But someone made a good point. I mean, there's a lot. You're right. There's a lot of message in there. Like number one again is a ringer, just like the first one, right? I think the rumor is that old guy in the first Squid Game was the creator of the games. Is that correct? I think that's what they mentioned.
I don't know if that's solid evidence or something.
Yeah,
We'll
well,
say with certainty.
that's internet rumor, and then now this one is the guy in the black mask, right? Who was featured a little bit in the first season, and so now he enters the games. Big spoiler alert. Was that a thrilling twist for you, or you just like, it is what it is?
No, I kind of like that. Where he's in there watching, and it kind of gives you the idea, like, why would somebody be in the games if I understood the old guy had a tumor and wanted to be in there. It's like, just put me in, coach. But this guy, it's like, what's his motive? Why would he do that? And when he did that, I thought there should be a little more of a, what do you call it? Story behind like the seriousness of the games, how they take it almost as like a religion or whatever, or like, something very serious to them. But he just kind of seemed to be hanging out there. So it wasn't bad, but it's just a lot of the core elements that really grabbed me and got me into the first one. It just,
I wonder, but I think he was taking this serious because but he was also trying to prove a point to the main character that he can be just as corrupt as he assumes the people who ran the games are, right? When he decided to sacrifice the other folks because they were saving their energy to get the guns, right, from the soldiers later. So he said they have to die. A few people can die, so we can be successful. And that's thinking just like a game master, right? And so I think that was the whole point, was to kind of show corruption, just like the recruiter, right?
Yeah, that worked. That worked.
The recruiter was doing the same thing. He was just like, if you don't pull that trigger, then you just proving to yourself that you don't, believe in the games, that. And so I think there's this, they're trying to prove that yes, the games are unfair, but people do it willingly for whatever reason. And so now is really the people who choosing to want the games, right? Is not something that people are being forced to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So here's a little speculation now. The way I see it going, and I'm not sure if it's going to go this way, is I'm thinking that, he's going to take that main character is going to take that turn and just basically be like, listen, there's some irredeemable people in this world, and, we got to get rid of them. Let me be part of the games, and I can help get rid of these people now. And he'll have a whole 180 kind of thing. That's just kind of the vibe I got.
That's where it's going. I mean, obviously, because the guy in the black mask, right? He won the games previously, right? And so some kind of way he got corrupted, and now he's over the games. And so I think, yes, I absolutely believe that's where they're kind of going with this. And so, but we'll see, it'd be interesting. They got a lot of interesting characters. They got a pregnant lady in the, but you're right. It's like, I think the characters of themselves were more interesting last season, but now they got to have all these accoutrements, right? They got the mother and son, not just a son, not just a mother, but a mother and son. So you're like, oh, who's going to die first? Then you got a pregnant lady, right? And also her ex-boyfriend happens to be there. Right? Yeah. So it's just like, this is too much.
I kind of like Thanos in the purple hair.
Though. Oh yeah,
as corny as he is, he just worked for me.
And the fact that he would throw random English words out there too, because if you watched, you just watch it, all of a sudden it says "you suck." I was like, oh, that was English. Yeah, hot character. I think, unfortunately, he's gone, but hot character. They should have kept him around a little bit longer.
We'll keep watching that show. I got back on Netflix to check that out, and I'm happy I did. As I said, I got issues with a lot of stuff, but I'm happy I got in there and watched it.
What? We're talking about a show together. I love it. Guys, just take me back to 2020. Oh, 2022. 2022. I love it now. Yes.
Oh my gosh. But also you were telling me about we're talking about AI a little earlier, and Google, Microsoft, and what they've been doing in the marketplace. And this one is affecting you a little bit. What's going on?
Well, yeah. Recently, Microsoft on Thursday said it would start including AI Copilot features by default in their Office 365 applications for consumers. And so basically the bundle price, go ahead.
For free?
No. The bundle price will increase by 30% to $13 per month per household. or $10 per month for individuals. So this is also similar to the change that Google made to their Gemini feature, where they're adding an extra $3 to Google Office users, right? I forgot what they call it, but not Google Office, it's something else. But this directly affected my business because we use Google Business, right, for how we communicate via email and Google Docs and all that. So they just automatically just turned on Gemini, right? And now all of a sudden, oh, by the way, we're gonna charge you $3 extra. And me and my business partner, we were pissed. I'm like, what is this? And so this is crazy, Mr. Benja. I went on this rant before we got on this call, but it's just like these guys have spent so much money on infrastructure for AI, right? It's going to get more expensive, right? With data centers, and then the cost for GPUs are just going through the roof. They need to start recouping some of this money. Yes, they have more money than God in some cases, but they need to start showing some profitability on this. And the only way they can do it is by force feeding us these products. And I don't think that's a good thing, Mr. Benja. I mean, and I got some theories on this, but what are your thoughts on this? Does this reek of true innovation, or is it just like, we're just gonna force this on you, and we're gonna make you love AI no matter what?
Patrice O'Neill had a bit that was kind of like this. That reminded me of this. Where he was talking about when prices start going up and everybody starts adding features. Basically, somebody comes around the block and they're like the bread maker comes around. Yo, everybody raising prices? I just make bread, man. My prices ain't changed. What's going on? You think I'm going to be left out here in the cold? I'm going to add sesame seeds or something and hike the price up. It doesn't have to be justified, just whatever. Add it in. Everybody's getting it. Everybody else is raising prices. I'm not going to be out here left alone. I'm raising prices too. And it just kind of felt like that to me. I don't know that they've really been pushing I don't know how it looks from your end, but at least on the random consumer end, I don't see a lot of, hey, Google AI integrated with X, Y, and Z. I mean, it's there, but I don't see them pushing it like the thing and saying, hey, this is what justifies the new price. It just seems like it's kind of happening.
Well, but that's the thing. Yeah. So on our side, if you go to our, Google Docs, even the Google Doc I'm looking at with yours, it has like summarize this doc, or, summarize this email, or do this and push this little star button, like Clippy art, right? We talked about this. Yeah. Their version of Clippy, this little star icon pops up and, flashes in your face. Like, pick me, push me, kind of thing. And I'm like, no. But, it's just, but I think they're trying to say, hey, if people just use it enough, then they'll see the use in it. But the challenge with AI I'm running into, Mr. Benja, because you hinted at, you said, okay, what's this thing called the GPTs, right? So is anybody using that was a thing? That's the problem. This innovation is coming too fast and furious that no one has time to slow down and figure out, is this even useful to what I'm trying to do day to day, right? Mm-hmm. And then yes, you can play with it. I'm playing with it, doing different things, but it's like, then they give you the next feature, right? And he's like, wait a minute, I was just playing with the other feature, right? So, okay, let me see this next feature. Oh, here's another feature. You're like, wait a minute, hold up. I got to find out if any of this is working for me. And then you just get frustrated because you're behind and they're telling you this next new thing. And it's like hard to, incorporate it because there's no, it's not, it's not. So the ultimate way they want it is where it's like, you just say, hey, I need a spreadsheet on 19th century Russian art, right? Go. And then basically it'll do it. And then all you have to say, okay, change that verbally, and it'll do it. It's not there, and it may not be there for a while. So in the medium, you still got to have a human in there to kind of interface with it to create that version of it. And that's the problem, because it takes energy and time as a human to think through that. And I ain't got time for all that. I must just do it myself or hire a real human to just do it for me. So it's like, I get where they're trying to go with it, but it's like that version of it is so, I think it's a little bit further off than they want to admit. And so they're trying to give you all these little bells and whistles, like, oh, you can do Copilot, it can just tell you little stuff. And in some cases it works with, coding and things like that, and some art stuff. But if you're a higher level person, you're trying to get something done that in the weeds, it can make a person productive. Can it make an organization productive? I don't know.
Yeah, and these are questions that this is yeah that's it's a tough one, man. And you run into this in a lot of creative industries, like where you want to create something, and when I say create something, you want to introduce something into a marketplace, and it's not that it's too far advanced. It's just that everybody is kind of okay with what they already have,
Yes.
and you need these. You need a certain amount of you need a certain gap from, hey, this is the old and busted to this is the new and hot. Like when people started using Google Docs, they'd like, oh, this is just like Microsoft Word. It's like, yeah, but you don't have to install anything. It's just right there. I can log off and then go log in somewhere else. It's all saved automatically. It's already in the cloud. I don't have to those stupid MS Word updates and all that was happening at the time. And it was just phenomenally simple. You can talk about loading time. People don't even talk about the boot time anymore, but you just load in Google Docs and you're kind of there.
Mhm.
I remember we used to start up Microsoft Word or any of the other programs. You'd be waiting. You know what I mean? And there was
Ooh,
actually,
3 seconds. Look how long. Look how long that took. Look how it took 2 minutes. Love it. Awesome.
yeah, it was just terrible. And sharing files was like, oh, you got to copy the thing, and oh God, I got to email it, or it was just a big hassle. Now it's just like, look, man, it's just click the link, man. Just click the share button, man. Just email the thing to me. It's simple. And there was a gap between, Microsoft Word and Docs that Microsoft had to catch up with. If you say, hey, I use AI in my documents, some other guy doesn't. It's like, I'm not sure I can. That may work for Photoshop, apps like that, where there's a clear gap between what you can do here and what you can't do. But yeah, I'm not sure it's being sold heavily in the office area. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just yeah. So anyway, that's just my uh rant from the trenches, man. It's just like the Amazon thing, man. They just force crap on you, man. It's just like, hey, uh, guess what? We're going to give you commercials, but you don't have to have commercials because we're going to charge you $3. If you don't want us to charge you $3, just say opt out. But you're opting in to pay $3. Amazon. So if you don't know Amazon Prime, if you don't if you keep opting in, then they'll charge you $3 so you don't have to watch commercials anymore. And the selling point of Amazon Prime streaming service was that it came free, included with the 2-day free shipping. And so, yeah, there you go. Like you said, adding sesame seeds on top of the bread, man. That's all we're doing here.
Why is my $1.99 loaf of bread costing $4.75? Hey, this one got
Exactly.
sesame. I don't want that. Where's the old bread? Oh, the old bread is gone.
Exactly, man. So it's crazy times. So, man, speaking of crazy times, Mr. Benja, are we gonna pull a little something out for RIP for TikTok? As we're recording this, within hours. TikTok banned Mr. Benja. High level, 170 million TikTok users in the US. Congress moved last year to force TikTok's Chinese parent company, ByteDance, to sell its stake in the app will be cut off from the US market. The law gave the company a deadline, January 19th, which is in about a couple hours as we're recording this, one day before a new president would take office. To be clear, though, the law does not ban users from using the platform, but rather requires U.S. app stores to stop internet service providers from hosting a service. However, so from my understanding, people probably can still access it, especially if they can use it, service providers elsewhere, but they can't, change the software or anything like that. However, the reports suggest TikTok would just cut off everyone's access instead of allowing those who have downloaded the app to continue using it. So the rumor is, and this is going to be a game of chicken, will TikTok totally go black at 12:01, or it just this service is no longer? Well, we know be funny. This generation don't know anything
Guys,
about
I'm
this.
live on TikTok. Here we are in front of boo.
No, they get the dreaded, you get the dreaded 404. I don't think they know what that is, right? And so they get that, they pop up with TikTok. What's 404? What's that? So yeah, Mr. Benja, how you feeling about the TikTok ban and all this, the legal ramifications, but more importantly, the cultural and ramifications of this?
I wasn't a fan of TikTok in its application or in its culture and in its stance on how it dealt with information and the feeds that it was giving me. It was just like it was a fight to actually get good content. I mean, good quality, wholesome History Channel type of content. And it was there, I'd search for it and I had my own little page. All the people I was following, and I was like, okay, this is cool. But man, if I slowed down for 2 seconds on someone dancing at the beach, man, you'd be like, all of a sudden I'm getting Spanish language bunda videos and stuff from Brazil. I'm like, how did this happen? And it's like,
you got distracted by one little video. Next thing you know,
I ain't even hit slow down for a second. It's like, who is that? Done. So yeah, I had some issues with it, but geez, banning it. I mean, I think this is actually a good first step from the U.S. Blockheads in the government. Let's try to take back some control. You've been getting beat up on the internet for a while now, and some of these technologies, it's like, you know what? We're gonna turn you off, and it's just like, oh, what you gonna do now? Nothing but cry. So I don't know what kind of reverberations are going to happen in the market with the alternatives, but I thought it was a good move by the U.S.
Yeah. So what is the alternatives? What are you seeing out there that people are yammering about, right? To kind of say, hey, go here. This is where I'm at. What's going on? Come here. What are your thoughts?
Well, I was talking about Isaac Hayes and his app fan base. Fan base, which is it's got Snoop on there. It's got a couple others who've actually made some posts. Candy Burris,
Candace Burr. Oh, Candy Burris. I'm sorry. I said Candace Owens. I thought she said Candace Owens. What? She totally went black, huh?
I do not keep track of where Candace Owens shows up. If she does show up, I scroll past. Yeah. Let me know if you see her on any of my likes or comments. I'll be sure to get rid of her. But yeah, no, there's fan base is the one put out by Isaac Hayes, kind of independent, didn't really have like a huge VC backing or a huge tech backing behind it. So it's gotten more of an organic, slow building kind of following into it. And it actually imports all your TikTok content. So if you actually want your content imported and just keep going, Fanbase does that. But it is not up there in terms of functionality of some of these other ones that are being backed, like Snapchat, which a lot of people are going back to. Snapchat's still doing its thing. It's always kind of hung out in the fourth or fifth spot in terms of popular apps, but it may see a resurgence. We'll see. I don't think they've done anything.
I mean, my daughter still uses it a lot. They do that younger generation still kind of uses to communicate.
Snapchat?
Yeah. I had a great tip.
Oh, nice.
So it's still there. They're still using it. It's like a messenger app.
Yeah, it's got some fun features to it too. I've seen like groups of 5 people like just continually snapping, and these 5 people are going around just snapping everything. And then at the end of the day, or after a few hours, or while they're eating lunch or whatever, they're just kind of going through everything that this group of 5 people has snapped with each other. It was a really interesting thing to see somebody do. So I was like, oh, okay, it's got a got a different type of use than I hadn't seen anywhere else. Redbook is it's like completely Chinese. You have to go through a Chinese terms of service, and people are like, I don't care. I can't even read the language. Boom. Accept. Yes. Is that the symbol for yes? Green check. I'm in. And they're jumping on that. We'll see how that goes. It's that's almost like a TikTok clone, if you will. And yeah, a lot of young Chinese people are on there interacting with American people all of a sudden or people from other Americans who are like, I want to see what's going on. And Chinese people are like, where did you come from? TikTok. Oh, okay. So it's a whole cultural exchange going on over there right now. And Lemon 8, how are they going to release another app and just release another app that's basically the same thing as TikTok, owned by the same company?
Oh, ByteDance? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Lemonade is owned by ByteDance. Oh yeah, love
Yeah.
them.
So
This ain't TikTok.
wink, wink. Yeah. But I do expect most people to jump over to Instagram and YouTube and start leaning a little more heavily into those, at least for the Americans.
Yeah, we saw a lot of folks already, start migrating to YouTube, and the book talk guys went over to YouTube, did a lot of those YouTube shorts, and and so now they're trying to create some longer form. I mean, just like Vine, right? A lot of folks that started on Vine, they just migrated to the next thing, and they're still famous. So yeah, I mean, that algorithm though was something nasty though. That thing, to your point, was I think it was a comfort a little bit during 2020, right? During the COVID, where everybody kind of had something to watch together and get connected to. But yeah, it's just got out of control, man. And even before COVID, man, I was leery about it. I heard about the Chinese influence and how it wanted all this information off of you, your location, all this crap. Like, oh, you all this stuff, man. And it's just too much. And so, especially if we don't, we know, the Chinese government is actively always trying to do things. They have reams and reams of data on us, right? There's so many hacks that happen. Why give them more? And I'm sure we're doing something similar, right? It's not, does not get twisted,
Oh yeah. Okay. Also, and to that point, a lot of people say, hey, well, Facebook and Meta, they do the same thing. It's like, one, it's not the same thing. Similar, yes. Same thing, no. This is not even the same level as the United Kingdom, where you can actually get sent to jail for messing around and saying some things. I've said some things that were completely innocent, and then I got like flagged on my account just by AI or whatever. But then it was like, all right, whatever, keep going about your business. But that's nothing like someone coming to my house and actually arresting me. So when people say they're doing the same thing, maybe not exactly. Pull that back just a little bit. Not the same.
Yeah, no, not at all, not at all. So yeah, Mr. Benja, for fun, I said, hey, do we want to talk about other famous goodbyes? Since everybody's on TikTok, if you haven't seen these reaction videos, you got artists singing songs about goodbye. You got pseudo celebrities on TikTok, saying, see you later. But by the way, go follow me on Instagram. They're all over TikTok. They get to watch. I kind of get a kick out of it. Mr. Benja, what other famous goodbyes do you remember from our years? And I caveat this because before we got on the pod, I talked about we're living in an age that I don't think anything ever really goes away anymore. Back in the day, yes, something would end and we like, oh, that's it. They're done. We'll never see that again.
Yeah.
But remakes are happening. Like a movie came out like 5 years ago and they'll do a remake on it. So, but I just wrote a few things here. If you have a few more other ideas, Mr. Benja, what famous goodbyes. And look, guys, if you hear anything that you like out there or there's other goodbyes that we miss, put them in the comments and we'll give you a shout out. But other famous goodbyes, Mr. Benja. The McRib. McDonald's the McRib.
So strange.
Now, technically, it comes back, comes back once a year. But man, when it leaves hard, man. It's just like that 10:30 breakfast at McDonald's. When it turns 10:31, that thing flips so fast. So likewise, the McRib is on there, and you don't know when it's gonna pop up, and you don't know when it's gonna leave. But when it leaves hard, man. So yes, McRib, Disney McRib. I mean Disney McDonald's McRib.
Can I get a McRib, a large fries? Sir, the McRib is no longer being served. If you've ever seen that happen, boy, that's funny, because that person's face is just distraught.
I know, man. They just want that
No,
McRib.
no more McRib. It's like, sir, it's gone.
So this is pre-streaming, but back in the day, there was this thing called the Disney Vault, Mr. Benja. I think
Yeah.
you remember that, where basically all the Disney hotness, the hot movies, you know, Cinderella and Snow White and all these ones, they would come out every so often, and you had a limited amount of time to buy them for a DVD format, right? And if you didn't buy it then, it's too late. It's going back in the vault, and you can never see them again until whenever they decide to release them. Now, this is people don't realize that, but you know, because there was no such thing as Disney Plus. But yes, we couldn't see any of these movies for years. So when Disney Plus did launch, that was the first thing that was amazing to me, that we could see all these movies and TV shows that for decades we got deprived of because they would never let them out the vault. So
yeah, you'd have them. They play on TV and special occasions, and everybody be huddled up around the TV, or special theatrical re-release, and you'd see people dressed up as Cinderella for the big anniversary, and it was a whole thing for something to come out the vault and be able to see certain things, in a big theatrical way. And I think you're onto something here, because these movies used to be like Disney's McRibs. If Disney had a rib sandwich, it would be, like the Cinderella 25th anniversary edition or whatever.
Exactly. And it was genius. I mean, Disney is making money left over fist, man, hand over fist, excuse me. Because, that was in a time of physical media, right? CDs and DVDs and tapes you have to get shipped. And so they created a exclusivity, right, window. They created like a VIP access. And so that made the price of those things go up. So they were probably selling them above market prices, obviously, for anything that went into the vault. And so now we're in new era. So Disney's realizing that, content is not as valuable anymore. Yes, you have to have content to kind of keep them paying for a service, but it's not like, physical media anymore. So you know what they pivoted to make their money, to make their nut?
Wait, what?
They pivoted to experiences. So the park prices are going through the roof.
Right.
Cruises going through the roof. Yeah. For a family of 4, for like a 3-4 day cruise to the Bahamas, I listened to this podcast. They said it costs $10,000 for a family of 4 for a Disney cruise. Yes.
Man,
that's crazy. So yeah, I'm telling you, and so it's like they pivoted. So they said, well, we can't make up money on content like we used to. I mean, the movies, they're doing okay. So they're turning it up on experiences, man. If you want to go to the park, pay us. So yeah, business 101. TV.
wait.
Oh, go ahead.
Let the cat throw one in there.
Sure.
This is you were fondly remembering all these things that had gone away. I just want to throw your boy Napster in there. That was a famous tech goodbye. I remember that one, man. There was Napster, LimeWire, and maybe some alt.net groups or whatever that were out there hosting.
Early aughts, man. We all spent the time in college dorm rooms ripping away, boy. Well, I got my CDs here. I'm about to get the Napster. I'm about, ooh, that new Lil Wayne came out. I'm about to rip that joker.
Yeah, it was weird, man. You just get online, and we weren't thinking about viruses or, a lot of these other things, that we're still just kind of in their early phases. And it's just like some guy's like, hey, I got a new demo copy of that new Ice Cube. I'm like, oh, okay, a new demo copy of the Ice Cube. Hey, it's a demo copy, right? You download it. It was just the same thing. It's just a full version. I don't know why they put demo in there, but yeah, everybody was just going to a site, downloading stuff, and maybe we can throw Pirate Bay in there too. That's kind of kind of along the same thing. We just go on the site and just download anything you want.
Ah, that was good times, man. Yeah, just ripping away. I remember being in the dorm, just like, oh yeah, the new Napster stuff came out. Yeah, let me get in here and get this stuff, and you could find software too, man. It was perfect time, man. Wonderful time. So, am I revealing too much, Mr. Benja? My pirate days.
Arm 80.
I know. Television, man. This show versus business is a show business kind of podcast. So I always think of TV finales, when they were like big things that people had watched and got excited, invested in.
Yeah.
Back in the day, right? When they were big finales like the Cosby Show or MASH, Bob Newhart, that's a little bit before our time. Those they were sitcoms, right? They ran for a long time, and then
Yeah.
it was kind of, there was no like long storytelling. You just enjoyed your time, or Cheers. You just enjoyed your time with these characters, right? And you wanted to see, okay, saying goodbye. But then the ones that we started enjoying were the ones that were more serialized, right? They told a whole story, and like we think about like The Sopranos, right? That was huge, controversial final, right? Do you remember that final at all?
People were about to fight over that finale. Yeah. That was one of the first big argument inducing finales I remember.
That was crazy. I mean, if you don't remember, spoiler alert for a show that ended 30 years ago almost. But my wife and I, or my girlfriend at the time, were watching it. We were watching it, and if you don't know, there's a scene there, all the family sitting together, things just kind of ratcheting up. It seemed like something ancient is going to happen in this pizzeria with Tony Soprano and his family. They ratchet the action. We hear somebody come in through the door, and it shuts to black. And everybody's like, what happened? The first thing I thought was my cable went out. I was like, what happened? And I think the majority of people thought that. And to this day, it's still kind of one of the more controversial, but I almost respect it to the point now. The way they ended it. And you know what the rumor is, right? What David Chase finally admit what happened. That's why it was shot to black.
Talk to me.
He said Tony Soprano got shot. He got whacked.
That's okay. That was like the thinking, but then it was just, you have to see it in context to understand how weird this was.
It was.
You're just sitting there watching the show, then all of a sudden, nothing. I mean, just. And it was like, oh, wait, what? That's it? It's like, yeah, they got no more story to tell. And that's, from an Archie point of view, that's kind of what people started thinking. Oh, he must have gotten killed. Or it's like, no, there was no more story to tell. So it just went to black and and everybody had their own little theories and whatnot. But yeah, no sound of a gunshot or anything. No, just nothing.
Nothing.
Very, very bizarre.
At the time it sucked, but then at the same, because it was basically a character study of this guy, who was borderline psychotic, but also had some good qualities, right? And he wondered if he was ever going to get redeemed, and he never did, really. And they just kind of cut it, and that's life, And so I thought that I respect it now, but back then it was a little frustrating. Do you ever remember the Mad Men finale at all? You remember that one?
I remember it getting weird toward the end and getting weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was basically about this advertising guy. A great show. If you like business, you like advertising. And even some of the gurus to this day still reference episodes of that show, right, to kind of make their point. But near the end, he kind of went off on a tangent, and it was just like, I'm lost. No one loves me. And they said, well, you need to come back, and, people will still have you. So he's off in his hippie land, and then he's doing this whole sitting on the hill, just kind of relaxing and doing and relaxing. And it fades to black, and it comes back up, and it's the Coca-Cola commercial, the most famous one of all time, where it's like, I want to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. A bunch of hippies on the hill, and it was about, drinking Coke. And so the reference was that at his lowest point, he ended up creating the greatest ad of all time.
Yeah.
And so because to him, creating ads was his life, his art, right? And so it was, that was a classic one. It was just
that one was funny because it actually it actually crossed. I don't want to say the fourth wall, but it actually started to talk to you like, "Hey, I'm selling you a Coke. You've been sold this entire story." So that part, I gave it props where I was like, "Okay, that's interesting." It took a while to build up to that and watch him kind of not fall apart, but lose his mojo, if you will. But when they started playing the Coke thing, I was kind of like, part of me was like, "Oh dear Lord, I don't believe they did that," and the other part of me was like, "That's pretty smooth. I respect it." So
yeah, gotta respect it. What about technology? You had mentioned some technology goodbyes that we had recent.
the Google Podcast has gone away. I don't know if anybody noticed or cared, but you can't just go listen to a Google Podcast anymore. You're going to end up on YouTube or YouTube Music. And I actually think that kind of screws up both of those experiences. So if you're on YouTube Music now, all of a sudden I'm getting podcast recommendations, and I'm like, look, I just want the music. Why don't I have podcast recommendations in here? And it's kind of screwing me up, but I get it. Spotify and Amazon, all the others are starting to do that too with podcasts. So I get it. I just need a clear separation in my head. Podcast, music. So yeah, no more dedicated podcast listening.
Well, rest in peace.
Sad. That's all I got for those. So.
Yeah. Mr. Benja, I think you had mentioned that you want to do something a little different.
Yeah, I didn't just mention it. I felt it in my soul, man. I felt it in my soul, my brother.
What are we going to do that's different, guys?
New year, new us, right? So we always talk about trailers and things that come up. So we wanted to try just a little reaction here right off the cuff. We may clip this out and put it into a separate video on its own, but we'll leave it here in this podcast as kind of a bumper, a little end piece. But there are two trailers that we were going to check out. The Daredevil trailer and the Brave New World trailer just came out this week. So Theo, you've already seen the Daredevil trailer, but we're going to go ahead and do that one anyway. And then we'll watch the Brave New World trailer. So up next, and I'll do a countdown for it. We're just going to watch the trailer. You'll be able to see us react to it right here. We might say a few things as it goes through, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about it. Shouldn't take more than 5-6 minutes.
Let's go.
All right. I am queuing it up right now. Going over here. And this is Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again official trailer. And we are hitting play in 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you for finding the time.
Violent.
I will admit, it's not entirely unpleasant seeing you again.
Old
Love this character. I love it.
No Hawaiian shirts. I like that.
A lot of time has passed. But
I didn't watch Echo. I heard
up
him
in the world.
doing this thing.
I could say the same about you.
Okay. Oh, Rogers. You saw that?
I can see you're not entirely
The
convinced.
musical.
Can you blame me?
Okay, we're back to the
I can't shake the feeling that you're gaming the system.
From Spider-Man's train.
Why did you stop being a vigilante?
The line was crossed.
pretty definitely.
That's sweet. It's hot.
It's hard to come to terms with a violent nature.
Uh-oh.
Hating the power it has over us.
Do we know any of these characters?
This is on Disney Plus? Blood. Oh, you know that is.
Was I? Yeah. All right.
Sometimes peace needs to be broken. Chaos.
That getting it in.
I know that. Was that Jigsaw again?
Hey.
Punisher, obviously.
Punisher.
Mind putting the hatchet down?
That's the.
I was raised to believe in grace.
Oh, that's Tony Soprano's kid.
But I was also raised retribution.
Oh, that's hot. Those helmet. Oh, Deke.
Red man for your boy.
Let's go. Let's do this. Let's break some wrists.
You want that soundtrack, don't you? I saw your head bobbing.
Well, man. They ain't playing, boy. This Disney Plus, huh? I guess you're gonna need that parental controls on this one. That's for sure.
Disney plus your medical records.
Damn. That one when that guy came on, his knee just cracked. I was like, oh snap. What you think? You hype?
It seems standard. I like it. I'm going to check it out. It seems cool. But am I hyped? There wasn't that. Once again, there wasn't that hype moment. It was like Microsoft Word. It was like, hey man, it seems like the same old stuff. It's like it just needs a little more hype. I like it. I'm going to check it out. But I can't give it the hype label yet.
Mm-hmm. I'm there. The second Daredevil TV show got a little repetitive to me. It was like, how many times we're gonna go down a hall and him beat up, ninjas in black? It's just like, I hope they switch that up a lot more. But I'm curious. Man, they're bringing back the whole cast. It look like everybody's the same in the same spots. I mean, the rumor is that Luke Cage, Michael Coulter will probably come back too. So it looks like this Netflix TV jaunt was Marvel TV. With the Defenders, right? The whole cast and crew. I think they're trying to bring back some of these people back, right? Because I think the characters were cast correctly. The actors are cast correctly, but maybe, they weren't part of the MCU. And so they're going to try and bring them into the fold. So that's good, man. Well, we already saw Matt Murdock in Spider-Man No Way Home. So
yeah,
he's here. He said, how'd you do that? I'm a good lawyer. Great line.
People recognize him. I like that. I'm just looking here and I'm just double checking. It's 18 episodes, so it's going to be a longer burn than a lot of their other shows, which could be good. It seems like it's taking a more slower, more methodical story pace, even from the trailer. So seeing that play out in this new series which has, I don't want to say that guy is Jigsaw. I don't want to start analyzing the whole thing again, but the guy with the white mask with the black tears coming down.
Yeah. Did you read a lot of Daredevil comic books back in the day?
Not too many.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I'm familiar with the broad strokes of Daredevil, but he's a little too brooding. To me, I think he felt like a passable Spider-Man, but he without the quips, It's just like he flies around, he hits people, but
yeah, he always seemed like a not quite character. Like
yes,
not quite Spider-Man, not quite Batman.
Yeah, good
not
point.
Quite, dark enough, not quite silly enough.
Yeah. There's a lot of this is but Frank Miller, I mean, he did the lion's share, right? Just creating something compelling about that character, and so I think that's what kind of put Daredevil on the map. But you hit the nail on the head. He wasn't Batman enough, and he wasn't Spider-Man enough. He was just kind of like, he's like a mix of both, but neither. It kind of sucks to be in the middle like that.
It's funny. I actually remember as a kid, someone saying, we were talking about Batman, someone comparing Daredevil, and as a kid, I was clowning around. I said, "Man, his horns ain't long enough to be compared to Batman." And just because he has those little nub horns instead of the big.
Exactly. So it's a piece. So man, So Mr. Benja, I'm enthusiastically optimistic, and you're more cautious, right? So yeah, I'm there. But I'll watch anything. So well, but I watch stuff, Mr. Benja. But when that stuff get boring, I start putting that fast forward so fast. If I'm starting seeing a love interest and they sitting at the dinner table talking about some mess, like all these scenes with the Kingpin and Vanessa, his love of his life, they starting to sit at the table talking too much. Fast forward that thing.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, that trailer, I just wanted to see. in trailers like this, I don't necessarily want to see guest stars. Like, hey, you know, Punisher's showing up. I want to see like that's just another character. That doesn't show any actual tension. You know what I mean? Like if he would have said something like, you know, I need to hire a hero to help me out. You know, then it's like, oh, heroes right here. You know, that kind of thing to get me hype in the trailer. So it'll be good. It'll be fine. I'm confident in it. As I said, just didn't hit me with the hype.
That's a good point. Yeah, he says that I'm not unhappy to see you. You're right. If he was just like, you know, I'm here to hire you. Oh, snap! They're working together. What's going on?
Heroes for hire.
Did someone say? Yeah. What's next, man?
So we're gonna do this again. The second one we have trailer number 2 that we're gonna react to today: Captain America: Brave New World. Get tickets now. That's actually part of the title here in Marvel Entertainment's YouTube video for the trailer. Captain America: Brave New World. Get tickets now. All right. Thank you very much for the reminder. So this is how many trailers have we had of this so far?
I don't know. Couldn't even tell you. We had quite a few.
Okay. Well, it's only been released one day and it's got just crossed 1 million views. So optimistic. So here we go with Captain America: Brave New World in 3, 2, 1, go.
You know, I've been no fan of heroes, but even I can't deny the good that you've done. Work with me, Sam.
I like that.
The country needs Captain America.
Tonight is the first step.
You know who that is? That's Isaiah. He ain't playing that man.
Stand by for proof of death.
Go! You know who that is?
Your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that or you don't want to.
What do you think they talk about us?
The country is on the brink of war.
Right.
There's someone behind all this.
He's part of the Serpent Society.
Watch yourself. You're not Steve Rogers. You're right. I'm not.
Sit your black ass down.
Let's go!
That was inferred.
What do you think they talk about us?
Dang, man. How many guns he got?
America caught without his wings.
Uh-oh.
You want me? Come and get me!
Captain America: Brave New World.
Oh, you gonna fight the president?
Ready.
Tell me I don't make your old gear look brand new.
Who's saying that?
Everybody. Everybody is saying that.
Nobody's saying that at all.
I'm gonna need a sidekick.
Nobody's saying that at all. Everybody. Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, I'm not mad at it, man. I like that. I would have wanted that to be one of the earlier trailers. You know, really get people hype. I like I don't know. I guess Red Hulk, you can't really hold something like that. You can't really hold that back. You just got to go ahead and tell people that's what you're doing.
I guess, but it seems like it's like near the end, or yeah, you know, they might do a flip, but it's like he's not the main character, so it's kind of like, you know, here it is. He's gonna fight the Red Hulk, but you know, he just said, "Just calm down, Mr. President, calm down."
And see that would hurt my soul if they did that. If they said, you know, Esposito, his character, I think he's a member of the Serpent Society. I don't know if you remember those books.
Yeah.
If he is the main bad guy and they just kind of throw Hulk in there as a special appearance, and then people come in expecting Hulk being the big bad, and it's like, wait a minute.
Remember in comic books, you know, at the bottom of the page, someone's face would be here smiling, like in the corner, like, you know, we'll check it later. They're smiling. Guest star. Wolverine. Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, you could probably tell what's going to happen. The Secret Serpent Society probably, you know the president has that gamma radiation in him and aggravating him, and so that's their big plea to kind of get Captain America. Captain America is going to calm the president down. He's going to go after the real villains. I mean, is that's pretty much what this is about, right? So I hope that I hope it's going to be interesting though. I mean, the rumors are is that it's not as good, and so we'll see. And it's the shortest of them all. It's like 97 minutes. So
okay.
yeah. So
Get in,
Mr.
get out.
Benja might even go see it. Yeah, Mr. Benja might. It's so quick. Oh, in fact, do it at lunchtime.
I gotta support Captain Black, Falcon American.
Oh yeah, I'll support it, man. I just don't want to be that 90s. Well, we didn't even talk about Kraven the Hunter, man, how that just flamed out. I didn't even watch that one either.
No.
So yeah, we're just talking about that.
I got mad at Morbius, so I don't know if I can take another Sony one right now.
Yeah, I didn't watch Morbius at all, so I still haven't watched it to this day. I watched Madam Web though; it was fun, but not this, not
like this.
Yeah,
This,
reference to the Matrix, guys. If you haven't seen that scene,
not like this, not like this.
Anyway, Mr. Benja, that was fun, man. Maybe we'll do more of those, man. I really enjoyed that more than I thought I would. So yeah, we should do that more often.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I like it. So we'll see what happens with that, and that's it, right? I don't think we got anything else to list. I'm sorry, I'm all blanking out over here because Captain Black American Falcon got me thrown off.
I know, man. I know, but it was too hype. I get it, guys. Look. We think we're done, man. If you guys look, Mr. Benja, it's always a pleasure doing this with you. Definitely, guys, if you like this, please subscribe, comment, smash that like button whenever you see us at Show versus Business. Go check us out on Threads, individually, or YouTube or Instagram. You can also listen to us at Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also visit us on our website at Show versus Business. So, Mr. Benja, great time. Well, have a good one, man.
Peace.